Man, I watched this documentary, this like miniature documentary on YouTube about John McAfee last night. Have you looked at this? Have you looked at all of this shit? It's crazy.
I used to pay attention to him. He was the man. So the John McAfee stuff's wild. Yeah. And he legitimately said, and this isn't getting any coverage because of whatever, maybe I'm in my little, circles of getting coverage, but to the real world, the guy, well, yeah, here you can, I don't know if you're going to like intro it or whatever. But
you go away, man. You tell the story. I'll jump in.
Yeah. So McAfee, he invented McAfee antivirus, became a big guy. Then he became like, I'm going to be the exposing government secrets guy. He was paying money on the dark web to get all this stuff. Went to jail in Mexico. And there's lots more to that, but he was like heavy on the podcast scene. Like he was out there saying, conspiracy stuff or however you want to put it. And then he made all these videos in jail being like, would never kill myself. Like he has a tattoo. He goes, this is a tattoo that says I would never kill myself. I love my wife. I love my life. And I'm still in perfect mental state. But I have a feeling they're trying to, and he just kept making these videos like, they're trying to kill me. I will not kill myself. And then the next day they're like, suicide.
John McAfee found dead in Barcelona or something. Yeah. Fuck, man. Yeah. Did you see, so I watched this Jake Tran, is a YouTuber. He makes sick sort of short documentaries. If anyone wants to find out more about this McAfee situation, I'll find the link and put it in the show notes. He made the antivirus software in a day and a half.
Really?
It took him a day and a half to code it. And within a month, 4 million companies were using it. And then within 2 years, half of the Fortune 500 companies had it on their computers. And it took him a day and a half. And then he got some guy that he lived next door to supposedly poisoned his dogs. And then the next day, that guy was found dead. And John McAfee was like, don't know what you're talking about. Don't know what you're talking about.
God.
Nothing to do with me.
I didn't know that part of the story.
Wild, man. It was in some not Venezuela, but some equally mental country. And and then he had schwacked, didn't he? $ whacked on his tattooed on his arm, and that was also his crypto that you could buy, but it was I'll never be killed. And then the final thing was he said he tweeted out that 16 terabytes of government secret data is going to be released, and I can't stop it if anything ever happens to me. But that hasn't come out yet.
Which that sucks. Yeah, that's a bummer. It did seem like that. Yeah, he was really hard on if I die, everyone's going down with me. And then he died, and no one was still waiting for the package.
I know, but because he's got a lawyer that's tweeted something else as well, saying, I can't stop it. Once the wheels are in motion, there's no way for me to stop it. It sounded like he was setting off a nuclear reaction or something. But yeah, I mean, that's what everyone's waiting for. If he's got to go, and he was like 75. I mean, he'd lived a pretty crazy life given the fact he was 75. But
and he was like this, kind of ladies' man type. He was trying to be like a Hugh Hefner-y sort of situation for a while. Like he was really letting the money fly and trying to live this Dan Blazarian-y sort of lifestyle.
He was really into scat, according to some of his ex-girlfriends. Which is an interesting insight.
Dude, I always see like the Dan Blazarian type. Even what McAfee was doing, where it's like, I get the idea of at the end of the night, whatever. You're like, I want to have sex with 2 hot chicks. The Dan Blazarian, he goes on these trips with like 7 girls. And it's like, have you ever like hung out with your like a chick you're dating and like 2 or 3 of her friends? It's like, what, that's your life? You just hang out with these like 7 squawking friggin' Insta-hoes like that? That's your, imagine you go on a trip to a island with just you and 7 annoying girls. Like, this guy must be like the biggest loser. Like, the only person I could think that would want to do that is like a gay dude. Like one of your gay friends would be like, oh, I'm hanging out with the 7 chicks. Like, it's the thing Dan Blazarian does, he's like, cool, right? And I'm like, I'd rather shoot myself than be in a private jet with like 7 models from Instagram that don't really know each other. Like, what is this?
Well, it's cool for the moment that photo's taken. Like, if you were able to, maybe he's completely trolled everyone and he just gets the girls in for that, and then they have to fuck off and stay in a different apartment, and he just sits up late at night, like playing COD and reading philosophy or something.
Yeah. it is the business model. Like, I guess there is a part of it where it's like, I get that where you're like, no, but I have to do this because this is my business as I go take these photos with the girls.
It's a heavy price to pay,
cool.
man. It's a heavy price to pay.
But also, who thinks this is cool? I'm just like, how does any guy fool? Like, I don't know a single guy that would see like you're like my chick and 7 hot girls are going on a trip and they say that you could have sex if you come when you go, can I just show up that night? Like, do I really have to be there for a week?
This is where the internet gets things so much quicker than even anyone else, because I was seeing Dan Bilzerian is the ultimate man-child. I was seeing videos with those sorts of titles 18
the internet
months
turned on
or
him.
two years ago. And this was before...
And that he didn't have his money.
Yeah, exactly. But you start to see that well before even like the other internet... You think... There's so many layers to the level of investigation that people are prepared to do.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, they were so ahead of the curve with that.
They're ahead of the curve with like, we don't like that anymore too, with things. Yeah, as soon as, like there is a very, if you're on that pulse of the internet, when people are talking about that stuff and you go, in 6 months you'll hate him. You know what I mean? Like you can kind of already see like Elon Musk was a perfect example of that. Like where
how do you mean?
It was you, well, I saw he was like on this cool shit poster dude, and everyone was kind of like, Elon Musk is sick and doing the Rogan appearances and all that stuff. And I could see the bumbling underneath of people being like, this guy's a loser. Like, you know what I mean? And like, not even the way that the media hated him, where the media, lies about him and doesn't like guys like him. I could see that people was like, regardless of that stuff, it's like, this guy is annoying.
Thank you very much for tuning in. If you enjoyed that, then press here for the full unedited episode. And don't forget to subscribe. It makes me very happy indeed. Peace.